Hey Leo, welcome to your Villain Era reading, where we're going to take a peek at something that's impacted your life and changed the way that you move through it. So, starting off looking at the overall energy that's surrounding you guys, the first card that we have out for you is Message in a Bottle. Let's pull another and see what other energies are surrounding my Leo collective for this reading. And what we have for you is Maywu, Mother Earth. You are called upon to help with environmentalism. Don't take that one literally. I never do. So, Leo, what seems to be happening for you right now is that there is a message that's sort of coming into you. I also think, though, that there's a fair amount of clutter that you have in your life, that this could actually be physical clutter that you have in your home, at your workplace, or it could be emotional or mental clutter. So when I see this card, it always speaks to me of being grounded. And part of being grounded makes sure, is making sure that the environment, your surroundings are peaceful and calm and what it is that you want it to be like. It's almost like going into a hoarder's home and you see all of this stuff just built up everywhere. And it's like, how can you even live? How can you even live like this? And so, what it feels like is that there's something on its way to you, but there's an element of cleanup that needs to happen while that's sort of in process. I do think that for a lot of my Leos out there, if you don't sort of clean up your surroundings, then there's a chance that you might miss this message that's coming into you. So let's get into some cards and see what else is going on for you guys. So let's start with what it is exactly that's happened to you. Like what events led up to this sort of transformation. And we have the Nine of Cups in reverse, clarified by the Ten of Wands. Okay, all right. So when we talk about cups, it's really about emotions. It's about our sort of relationships, our feelings that we have towards different things. Typically, it's towards other people. Now, with the Nine of Cups in reverse, there is a sense of discontent. There's a sense of unhappiness. And if I'm being particularly honest right now, Leo, I do think that this is a sense of dissatisfaction with yourself. I'm not picking up that there's an energy of someone else being involved in this or sort of being the catalyst for this change for you. This is a sense of disappointment or feeling of not being fulfilled within yourself and by yourself. And we have that clarified with the Ten of Wands, which is a burden. It's something that you have been carrying with you for some time. It's the proverbial weight on your back. And so it almost feels as though it's like I'm tired of being sick and tired. It feels like that's where you are right now, Leo, that you're not impressed with your own existence. And it's like, all right, something's got to give right now. And so this may be in terms of, your physical self or your emotional self, maybe your financial self. There's something, an element of your life that's pretty important to you that has just not measured up to what it is you thought it would be or what it is that you hoped it would be. So how has this sort of realization of unhappiness affected your life, your relationships, all of the above? We have the Seven of Wands, we have the Wheel of Fortune, and we also have the Knight of Swords. So what this is saying to me is that there is a bit of a fight that's in you. I almost feel as though, Leo, this sense of dissatisfaction has led to you sort of jumping from one thing to another. There's not a sense of stability that you have. It feels like it creates conflict with other people around you, because they're kind of like, what are you doing, Leo? What is happening over there? Why you're over here, you're over there, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing everything, you're being real extra right now. And it's kind of like you're looking at other people like, you don't understand the grind. I'm just trying to better myself, yada, yada, yada. And the people around you are like, okay, cool, understood. But is this really the best way of you doing that? Because there's no rhyme or rhythm. There's no nothing. And so with the Wheel of Fortune, it almost feels like you don't want to leave anything to chance. And so we have this Knight of Swords energy, which is very, very fast paced, but very, very fickle. There's not a ton of investment. And because swords really deal with thoughts and intellect and things like that, it's going so fast that it feels like you're not giving a lot of time to think about what it is that you're doing, that you're just kind of all over the place in life. And I do think that you have people around you who care about you, who are a little bit concerned. And maybe this is what you're not hearing from them because there's so much clutter. There's so much mental and emotional clutter at you trying to create this life that you want because you're disappointed with some aspect of it right now. So, what lesson are you meant to get from this experience? We have the Emperor, and we also have the King of Pentacles in reverse. So what this feels like is that one thing sort of leads to another, right? I almost feel as though the lesson that the universe is trying to give you, and it's saying without this, you're not going to have this. And so the Emperor is a very competent, very capable energy, right? They are a leader in their own right. They use intellect. They do have a fair amount of emotional awareness as well, but they really do think things through. They are very strategic because remember, emperors, ruled kingdoms and things like that. You can't do that without a little bit of a strategy if you expect to, be doing that for a while. And so without stepping into this Emperor energy, we're going to have the King of Pentacles in reverse. So the King of Pentacles is someone who is very abundant. They are thoughtful when it comes to material things. And I think for a lot of my Leos out there, there's this sort of life that you want to have, this existence that you want to experience that you haven't been able to yet. That seems very stressful. For a lot of you, this is financial. This has to do with how you bring in money, how you save money, how you spend money. And so Spirit is saying the lesson that you're getting from this is to be more thoughtful in how you approach opportunities, how you approach your life. And remember, the Emperor is someone who is very confident. They're very comfortable in their own skin. So I think that another aspect of this lesson that you're to learn is to not speak so negatively of yourself and release some of the burdens that you have been carrying. The Emperor isn't carrying shit around with them. And so you sort of looking down on yourself and not being fulfilled is leading you to maybe make some of these choices where you're all over the place and you're not particularly stable in any area. And so Spirit's saying we gotta reframe our thinking. We gotta reframe our mindset and the way that we view ourselves. It's time for a little bit of mental and emotional cleanup. Clean up your space so that these opportunities, so that these messages can come into you and not get caught up in all of this other junk. So what can you do to sort of change this behavior and move forward from how you're feeling right now? We have the World and we also have the Three of Wands. Close the chapter. It's time. The World signifies an ending of one journey and the beginning of another, the Fool's journey. And so trying to let go of some of this baggage, saying, you know what, it's done, it's happened, it's time to move forward with a clean slate. is what Spirit is saying. And with the Three of Wands, there's an element of patience here as well. And it's funny because Aries, I think, got the Three of Wands as well. But there's a sense of you just slowing down. Because again, this energy that you have right now that's all over the place, that's very scattered, that's very unfocused, it's not doing you any favors. It's just leading to more and more buildup. And so Spirit is saying, give yourself a clean slate and aim to do things differently. Embrace this Emperor energy where you are more grounded, where you're more strategic, where you're more balanced, and where you're not talking down to yourself or making yourself feel less than. Now, in terms of obstacles or challenges that you may face, we have the King of Wands and the Page of Swords in reverse. So I think that your biggest challenge, Leo, is that you are going to want to continue running full tilt ahead, right? The Page of Swords is my Watcher card. Pages are, they're novices, they're apprentices, they're very young, and they don't know everything. And so their goal is to learn, it's to gather information. And when it's upright, the Page of Swords is someone who kind of sits back and they watch, they observe, they collect as much data as they can, and they use that to grow into the knight and then the queen and then the king. But I think that your challenge, Leo, is that you want to skip all of that. It's like, I'm not sitting back watching nothing. I'm going. I am going. I am going. Because you have that fire. You have that energy with the King of Wands. So there's a lot of desire that you have. It feels like you need to pace yourself. Just kind of bring it in, bring it on in, and just be still, be calm, like think things through before you jump. I think that that's going to be the hardest part for you all. But if you are able to navigate through all of this, give yourself a clean slate, start talking positively to yourself, start taking in information before you jump, what will happen? We have the Four of Swords and we also have the Knight of Cups. So I think that for you in this process, Leo, in the immediate future, there's going to be a sense of stillness. The Four of Swords is really about being quiet, having that sort of restful place, having that reset. And then you can start building with the Knight of Cups. You'll see that offer starting to come in, something that you will enjoy, something that makes you happy. So this is that messenger, because the knights are messenger cards, right? So this message in a bottle is waiting for you. And it's going to come during that period with the Four of Swords of restfulness, when your mind and your emotions are quiet and your space, whether it be spiritual or physical, is clean. So do yourself a favor, Leo, and just start breathing. Whatever it is that you need to do to sort of ground yourself, whatever it is that you need to do to start making you feel better about who you are and where you are in this life, is going to get you on this path where this message, this positive message, comes in for you. But it's going to start with you cleaning up your space. So that's what I got for you guys. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.